Eagles Nation, what is up? Tom, Views from the Link TV. Sorry for the terrible quality. I know I've been doing these webcam videos for the last couple. We used to use our nice cameras and good lighting, and it looked a lot better than it does and has for the last couple months of me doing these. I just live in a different apartment than Steve, the other guy that's been on the show with me for since we started it in 2015, and this is kind of what we're reduced to, but it's just me doing the show myself, and it sucks, and hopefully we can get him back in here a couple times, and we chat it up, we have a good dynamic and get different perspectives on things, but yeah, right now lighting's not that great. I'm doing it at night. Usually I do this in the day. I didn't have time, but I wanted to get it out. So, it's dark out by now, and the lighting and everything looks terrible. But, besides that, got some good questions, and that's good because it's Thursday. You guys will be seeing this Friday, dropping it a day late. I'm sorry, but, the Eagles are 6-1, and they're a great football team right now. I mean, there's nothing really more to say about it. If you were to look at everyone around the league and think, wow, the Eagles are the best team record-wise, you would have never thought that. No one really would have ever thought that. So, there's not really much more to say. The quarterback's playing like the MVP of the league right now, and but again, it's 7 weeks, and still got a half a season left, pretty much. 9 games left, so we'll see how they do down the stretch. Lost a couple key guys to injuries, and I'm sure we'll get questions about them. So I'll hold off on talking about that. But let's just roll into the questions. It was a good week of celebrating the win, but we got week 8 coming up, and we got the Niners. So let's get into it. So the first question is, JBrad13 asks, in the first round next year, should we address a running back or linebacker? Now, that's a good question. I think offensive tackle. Jason Peters tore his ACL and MCL. You need a replacement for that spot, and I think that's more important than linebacker, where we'll have likely Nigel Bradham after we sign him, and Michael Kendrick still with another year on his deal that he signed in 2015. He still has one more year. I believe he's signed through next season. So having those two, I think that you can probably just have Jordan Hicks rehab and come back and give it one more go. And he's entering his contract year as well. Obviously he's not been able to stay healthy in his career with the Eagles. He had, full health last year, but the team just couldn't really, get it done. And linebacker, again, I just think it's a position you wait on until you have your full line of draft picks. Maybe you draft one later, but not in the first round, I don't think. Again, I think Jordan Hicks under team control for one more year on his rookie deal. We'll have one more shot at it and one more chance to see what he's made of. I think that they'll give him that chance and opportunity to rehab and come back, and that'll be the linebacking core for next year. I think it'll be the same. I think it'll be the same guys, but that's the next group in question. It really is. You got Kendricks departing and Hicks, so Bradham seems to be the guy that you just keep. Just the timing of his deal, and then you look elsewhere. You might have to look into the draft, but we only have a first rounder, no second, no third rounder in this upcoming draft. So the first round pick has to be a guy that you kind of need a little more, and I think that's offensive tackle. Running back as well, you do need a running back, but I think offensive tackle comes first. Given the Jason Peters injury, I think that's just an obvious pickup, and I think they need to make that pickup. So we'll get into the next question. So someone commented on that and said neither, and exactly what I said. I said I think offensive tackle. So it's Miles asks, do these injuries change the perspective for postseason? I just, like I've said on this show plenty of times, I just think that the playoffs, just making the playoffs is my thing. Just make the playoffs. So my expectations for the postseason were never really anything specific. It was just I wanted to see this team take the next step and make the playoffs. So if they do that, I think by all means they've accomplished the goal of improving over the offseason and taking that next step. Now, with how they've been playing, you could say this is one of the most complete teams in the NFL, one of the better teams, obviously, regardless of their record. They look one of the most complete teams. And with how they were playing, I would say having Jordan Hicks, having Jason Peters healthy, you could potentially bank on them going pretty far. I mean, it just seemed like everything was working out, but I think these injuries could definitely have an impact on different things throughout the season. How do they rebound? They've been rebounding all year, but these injuries are permanent, and they're going to be a mental thing for the Eagles. Now they know they don't have Jordan Hicks, for good. Now they know they don't have Jason Peters for good. Other teams know that. So it's they're gonna be attacked different ways. There's going to be things they're going to have to adjust to. So let's see how they respond to it. But again, playoffs for me is the goal, and that's what I'm sticking to right now. But good question. It's Miles. JBrad13 asks again, a couple questions down. Who do you think won't re-sign for next year? I don't know. It's tough to say. I think that the guys that you're seeing perform that are on 1-year contracts, I think they will make those guys a priority. Timmy Jernigan, Alshon Jeffrey, Nigel Bradham. I think those are the guys that you want to see come back. You could see Patrick Robinson gone. He only signed a 1-year deal to be here, and he's going to get pushed out by Rasul Douglas, by Jalen Mills, Ronald Darby, Sidney Jones. Just a deep unit. And I like Robinson, and maybe they bring him back. Who knows? Just because he's playing well, but I think that he could be a possibility to be gone. Caleb Sturgis is probably gone. I mean, Jason Peters, Darren Sproles, I don't think they're going to continue their football careers after this. Vinny Curry's probably going to be asked to restructure his contract, or he might just be gone. Jeez. I know there's a couple more guys. Brent Selleck might be gone. So, I mean, this team's going to go through a little bit of an overhaul to free up some cap space so that they can put it toward, the guys that actually are contributing. So we'll see how that goes, and that's obviously way down the line. So good question, Justin, but yeah, it's way down the line. Colin Zatelli asks, what's a fair expectation for the rest of this season? Like, I'd personally be satisfied with a playoff win. Colin, you hit the nail on the head for me. I think that just to take the next step as a young team, just go into the playoffs and hopefully, with the record they have, they host a playoff game. And I think they can win any game at home, really. So I think at home they win a playoff game and they've taken the next step. They go into the offseason, they build up a bit more, they continue to work for it, and I think they can make a run at the Super Bowl. I really do. Not sure if it's going to be this year. I mean, you never know. And I never want to say I don't have faith in them to do that, but it's pretty simple. It's a tough league, and it's matchup driven, and you never really know what's going to happen. So while they could, it's only week 7, and you can't really say that they're a lock. They could. I've seen Atlanta. Atlanta started 6-2 in 2015, and they ended 8-8. And then there's teams like Green Bay last year were 4-6, and they were on the table. They get in the playoffs, and they win. And they go to the NFC Championship game. So there's so many ways a season could go. So it's still early. So yeah, Colin, I think I pretty much agree with you. I'm on par. A playoff win would be wow. I mean, we haven't had one in 10 years. So it's like, a little under 10 years. But come on. This is unacceptable. We need to get in the playoffs and make a little run. Get some life sparked up in this team. And I think we have the team to do so. So we'll see about that. And then the Ghost Rider 78 asks, thoughts on Peters' replacement? That's the last question. Big V, we don't really have a choice. These trades are a little ridiculous. I don't think you're going to get a guy that comes in and vibes with the line as well. I think just putting Big V in, it's his job to lose, and you kind of just have to. It's just his job to lose. It's his thing. He's got to step up, and that's going to be how it goes. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be painful for him probably to, go through, trying to replace Jason Peters, and there's going to be growing pains there, and these high expectations for the season to have a guy like Big V in the game, live bullets flying late in the season with playoff spots on the line. It's not something close to what you'd want. You want Jason Peters in there by a mile, but what can you say? It's Big V's time, and he's got to step up to the plate. So I got faith in the kid. I think he can at least be serviceable enough to get us to the playoffs. Maybe win a playoff game. I'm just really, I just want to see the run game continue to flourish and situational running and just being able to pound the ball, because that's what a big thing that, pass blocking is one thing. Wentz can make plays, but the run game is going to be so reliant on being able to run to either side. And if Big V's a liability in either the run, obviously the pass game, but the run game, even just low key, that's going to be a problem because it's going to be predictable, and the right side of the line is then going to have a lot of pressure. So I really just hope Big V, over the next couple games gets settled in, and next thing you know, he's making plays. So we'll see what happens there. But Fly Eagles fly, man. San Francisco on Sunday. It's in Philly. Should be a game the Eagles win. No one asked me to predict the score or anything. I honestly think, I didn't get a lot of questions this week because maybe the time I posted it, but also because San Fran's not really looked at as a team that anyone's fearing, that anyone even gives a shot to beat us. So it's at home. It's, one of those casual 1 o'clock games. Hoping the Eagles don't fall asleep and they just put the whooping on them that they should. But, what else is there really to say? We got this game, and then you got the Broncos, and you got your bye week. So there's really nothing more to say. Just got to win these 2 games at home and put the division away pretty much. Redskins play the Cowboys this week, and the Giants are just a 1-win team through almost halfway through the season. So it's not looking too good for these division opponents. The Redskins and Cowboys are both 500, and then the Eagles are in a position to, with 2 home games, that teams they probably likely could really realistically have a chance at beating. Just looking to go 7-8-1, 7-2 at worst maybe. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but. At 8-1, it would be really tough for anyone to catch the Eagles. Even with Dallas having 2 games in hand, it just wouldn't even look likely, despite what would happen. And even if the team split, if the Eagles split with the Cowboys, then but if the Eagles win their next 2 games, going to that bye week, come out and beat the Cowboys, it's a wrap, man. It really is. It's just a wrap. So again. Looking ahead, don't want to overlook this Niners team. They're hungry. They got some young guys on the team. Dog just walked by, joined us. Hey, what's up? But yeah, fly Eagles fly, man, and have a good day. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't overlook this Niners team. Come out, pound them on Sunday. If you're going to the game, if you're going to the link, have it rocking. Playoff atmosphere. Don't care who the opponent is. We just got to keep winning. So, fly Eagles fly again for the 15th time. Whatever. Have a good one, guys.